They say we've explored the moon, that we've mapped it, conquered it, left our footprints in its dust. But what if I told you that half of the moon has remained a secret? Not because we haven't been there, but because what's there shouldn't be found. Welcome to Midnight Mindset, where truth blends with shadow and sleep drifts into mystery tonight. We turn away from the comforting face of the moon, the one that smiles down at Earth, and into the void of the far side. This isn't science fiction. This is real. NASA knows. China knows. Even the Soviets knew. But we weren't supposed to ask. Until now. First, let's correct a myth. The so-called dark side of the moon isn't always dark. In fact, it gets just as much sunlight as the near side. The real reason we never see it is tidal locking. The moon rotates at the same speed it orbits Earth, so we always see one face. It wasn't until 1959, when the Soviet Lunar 3 spacecraft managed to swing round the far side and snap the first photos, what it saw. It was unexpected. Gone were the familiar lunar seas of basalt plains we see from Earth. In their place, a chaotic landscape of deep craters, massive scars, and no signs of the formations we thought were standard. NASA's own documentation later confirmed the far side of the moon has a significantly thicker crust than the side we see. Scientists still aren't entirely sure why. Quote from nasa.gov: "The asymmetry between the two sides remains one of the moon's deepest mysteries. But what if the real reason isn't geology? What if it's something else?" While Americans were tuning into TV broadcasts of Neil Armstrong's famous moonwalk in 1969, something else was happening quietly. On the other side, declassified Soviet documents reveal an intense interest in the far side of the moon. Some missions weren't about exploration. They were about surveillance. Both the US and USSR considered placing military listening posts, or even nuclear weapons, on the far side where they couldn't be seen from Earth. In 1968, an internal NASA memo discussed using the moon's far side as a radio quiet zone, perfect for intercepting signals or conducting untraceable operations. The moon became a chessboard, but one where half the pieces were always in shadow. National Security Archive, George Washington University, The Moon as a Strategic Asset. Asterisk, in 2019, China's Chang'e mission became the first spacecraft to land on the far side of the moon. But soon after landing, something unusual happened. The mission's U-2 rover discovered a gel-like substance inside a small crater, something completely out of place in a lifeless, dusty environment. Chinese scientists described it as having a strange texture and color, unlike anything previously seen on the moon. They took samples, but no public analysis has ever been fully released. Then there's the mysterious cube-shaped object spotted by the same rover in 2021, initially dismissed as a rock. It drew worldwide attention. The object had sharp edges and perfect symmetry. Weeks later, the rover approached it, and then silence. Officially, it was just another boulder, but the high-resolution photos never released. Why would a government mission hide a rock? China National Space Administration, Global Times, Space.com, *online researchers, using high-res moon maps from NASA's LRO, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, have found angular anomalies on the far side, structures that appear to have right angles, domes, or tower-like shapes inconsistent with natural geological formations. One example, a formation nicknamed the Shard, which casts a shadow far taller than any known hill on the moon. Another, the tower, appears to rise 5 miles high off the lunar surface. Skeptics call it pareidolia, our brains tricking us into seeing patterns. But if that's the case, why do so many of these anomalies show mathematical symmetry? Are they ruins, installations, or echoes of something older? NASA, LRO, Public Archives, Moon Anomalies, YouTube, Scientific American *. Here's where things get even stranger. The far side of the moon is the only place in the solar system permanently shielded from Earth's radio transmissions. This makes it the perfect location for off-world operations, whether scientific, military, or something else. Some theorists suggest the silence isn't just physical, that the far side of the moon may have electromagnetic anomalies that interfere with thought, memory, or perception. One retired Air Force officer described his briefings on psychological stress events involving moon observers. These weren't aliens, but something worse, the sense that you were being watched by something that knew you were looking. The moon doesn't need to do anything. Just being there is enough. Unnamed US Intel briefing *. So what do we really know? We've seen it. We've landed on it. We've photographed it, scanned it, and built 3D maps of it, and yet we still don't understand why the moon's far side is so different. Why it hides its face. Why so many images and findings go unreported, redacted, or quietly reclassified. Could it be just the remnants of ancient collisions, or the side effects of Cold War paranoia? Or could it be a cosmic mirror reflecting only what we dare to imagine? Whatever the truth is, it's clear. The far side of the moon may not be dark, but it remains unknown. If the moon watches us, perhaps it's time we started watching it back. Sleep well tonight, or try to. Subscribe for more truths that flicker in the dark, where curiosity sleeps and mystery begins.